All right, everybody. So by this time, Sketchbook Summer has officially begun, and you should have started sketching. That is, if you're doing it. I know not all of you are doing that, and probably people will be watching this maybe sometime later when Sketchbook Summer is over. But at least when most people will be watching this, it will have been when Sketchbook Summer has started. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing kind of a strategy that I use to be able to complete Sketchbook Summer. I really don't know if I would have completed it without taking this approach. And really the strategy is that you do a lot of gesture drawing. So if you don't know what that is, I'm going to show you that today. I'm going to go through a whole program for doing gesture drawing. And there's some really fantastic resources for doing gesture drawing and figure drawing. You can go to Quick Poses, you can go to the Line of Action. Croquis Cafe on YouTube channel is also a fantastic resource for doing figure drawing and gestures. So some of these sites come with preset gesture classes where they take you through the whole process of iterating on different phases of gesture drawing, where you start doing quicker gestures and then they get longer and longer and longer. So, with doing gesture drawings, you can fill pages really, really fast. There was one day last year where I remember spending about 20 minutes doing 30-second gestures, and I was able to fill 6 pages. So with Sketchbook Summer, you're supposed to be filling at least 3.5 pages per day. So it's a really effective way to just fill pages quickly. Of course, I don't know if you should just fill a whole sketchbook with gestures. It probably wouldn't hurt. I think you would grow a lot as an artist. But I think you might have more fun and get more out of Sketchbook Summer if there's a little bit more variety. But at least you can have that in your tool belt if you feel like you're getting behind to kind of catch up. So you can also do gestures with anything. So it doesn't necessarily have to be poses. Of course, you can do gestures with animals, but geological formations, trees, even human design things like cars or whatever can also be great sources for gestures. So don't feel like you just have to limit yourself to humans. So with that in mind, I kind of want to just show you this, the approach that I have for doing gesture drawing. It's kind of what I call reverse gesture drawing because I have kind of a different approach than how most people do a kind of gesture drawing class. But I guess I'll just jump into it and show you what I mean. Okay, so this is the program that I'm going to be doing today, and it's structured very similarly to a gesture drawing class that you might normally have, or one that might be available on Quick Poses or Line of Action or even Croquis Cafe. I think they do have some classes structured like this. The normal way that most classes go will be that you'll start with, several gestures that are 30 seconds long. Then you'll do a minute, then 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10, so on and so forth. Those increments may change, and how big a jump you take may change. So sometimes it'll just be like 1 minute to 5 minutes, so forth, so on and so forth. But what I'm doing, I've thought a lot about gesture drawing and about if you want to actually get good at gesture drawing as a skill, it makes more sense to do one of these classes in reverse. So that's what I'm going to be demonstrating today. I'm going to be demonstrating how you do kind of this reversed gesture drawing type approach. The idea is that you start slow and you slowly speed up, and the idea is that it's just like many other skills, particularly something like playing a musical instrument, but other things apply as well, that you start doing them slow and then you speed up, and so that when you're speeding up, you kind of learn how to do the slow thing very quickly. You learn how to be more accurate, more precise, a little more elegant with what you're doing by kind of starting more slowly and getting quicker. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. So just to point this out, we're going to have one session that's going to be 10 minutes, one that's going to be, or 2 for 5 minutes, 5 poses for 2 minutes, 10 poses for 1 minute, and 10 for 30 seconds. So the way this works out is we've got 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and 5 minutes. So the total length of this session will be 45 minutes. So that is, a decent amount of time to be drawing. but so it's definitely it's going to be a little bit tiring, or it'll be a nice little marathon there, but it's not too crazy. Like, this is something doable to do within a day. So this is a good way of approaching gestures. So I'm going to get started, and I'm really just going to even get started on this page. I may kind of do some speeding up here and there as needed. Just if some of these poses take a little bit longer. This doesn't necessarily need to be a 45-minute video, even though I am doing 45-minute poses. So, and today I'm going to be using line of action. So here I am on the line of action website. I've selected only covered models. So I'm not going to do any nude models, but you do have the option on a lot of these sites to do nude or covered. So that's your choice. But I'm not doing any of that in this video, just because some of you are not going to appreciate that. And I can set the time interval here. So it's all the increments that I want to be using here. I'm going to start with 10 minutes. And then we'll just get started, and you'll be able to see, I guess, what I'm drawing. And if I don't like the particular pose, we'll see. It's going to randomly give me a pose, or to draw from. If I don't like it, I'll just choose a different one. All right, so we've got 10 minutes on this pose, and this one's all right. Ideally, this isn't the best setup for myself, since the image is kind of far away from me and I'm kind of far away from my drawing pad. Ideally, I like the drawing pad to be closer to me. I like the image to be as big as possible. As big of a drawing space as possible, as big of an image as possible is better. For the needs of this video, I kind of have to have a little bit of distance just so I can get the camera in and everything. But it should still work. So I'm going to kind of sketch this in. And because this is 10 minutes, we're just going to take a little bit more time to try to get this accurate. See, what I may even do here to start is to create a little bit of an envelope. So what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to imagine that this whole pose were to fit inside a shape. I'm going to try to fit it inside that shape. So I'm still kind of just, this is still going to be a little bit of a gesture here. I'm going to kind of start with a gesture, and then we'll kind of clean things up as I go. One thing I'm always thinking about as I'm doing gestures that I try to indicate as early as possible in the process is I always try to indicate direction with the form as early as possible, and shape of the form. So that means I'm going to try to put a center line in. So this is a line that runs down through the center of the body. And I'm going to start putting in lines, curves that demonstrate direction. The direction on this right arm is a little bit more ambiguous. And I'm going to try to simplify wherever possible. I don't need all the little bumps and grooves on a figure. So again, as I'm doing this gesture, I'm trying to indicate direction as early as possible in the process. So even this curve on the hip tells us that this knee is coming towards us. I can add some other little curves in here to help strengthen that. Now, because this is a figure that's all in black, there isn't quite as much detail as there otherwise might be. So it makes me wonder how I really want to spend my time. If I have 10 minutes, I can really spend that time trying to reinforce the aesthetics of it. You'll notice when I do gesture drawing too, I draw how I hold my pencil. This is normally how I hold my pencil, as opposed to drawing like this, which is when I'm kind of doing more detail or penciling or inking. And even when I do my comics, when I'm sketching things out, I'll generally hold the pencil more like this. I find you can just get much more fluid, interesting lines this way. Okay. So I'm just going to start coming here and start to just think about making this pose a little more interesting, maybe adding a little bit more detail into it. All right, I've got 3 minutes left. Okay, this is kind of going faster than I expected. Let's see what I can add in 3 more minutes. Well, I actually What I didn't account for is that I left for a second to go turn on the air conditioning, so I may have made this challenge a little bit tougher for myself than I needed to. All right, and I've got this head at an angle like this, and the head is actually more at an angle like this. So I'm gonna push the angle of that head a little bit more. That seems more accurate to me. You know, and what kind of ends up happening is that this longer pose really ends up being your warm-up, which isn't a bad thing. I think I like warming up with my poses being a little bit slower. You know, that's what a warm-up should be. You should start with slow movements and work towards faster movements. I'm just trying to get some of the cool details in on these hands, cool shapes. One of the things that you try to learn with gesture drawing is little shorthand, simple shapes that you can put in to try to tell the story. But you don't need as much complexity. All right, so I've got 1:24 minutes left, and I'm actually not going to have a lot of time to add in value, but I'm going to try to kind of just come in quickly and indicate some. Most of this back leg I'm just going to put in a shadow. I'm going to try to indicate a little bit of the wrinkles and mushing of form there. Okay, 49 seconds. Man, weird proportions on that leg. Darken some of these. 30 seconds. Okay, by the end of this, we're going to be doing all of our poses are just going to be 30 seconds. So that's going to be quite a big difference. All right. All right, we're done. All right, onto this creepy picture of a ballerina. So I'm just going to cancel this. All right, so now we are going to go on to our 5-minute poses. Wait, 2 5-minute poses. All right. On to another page. Let's see what we get. Maybe we'll do one pose on each one of these pages. And I'm going to keep a better eye on the timer this time. All right, here we go. This one's weird. Okay, we'll try this. A little bit boring pose, but with these sites like Line of Action and Quick Poses, the one thing you find though is that there's kind of images and models that come up kind of over and over. This one I've seen quite a bit. This dude with like the leather pants. So one important thing to think about with feet, the instinct always with feet is to make feet, draw feet flat like this, like straight across the paper. And the truth is that we're almost always looking down at a ground plane. So feet are never going to be flat. We're always going to see a little bit of a curve on top of our feet. All right, so that's already 2 minutes down. This is already I'm already feeling pressure here. Probably made this guy's head a little bit too big. Yep. Try to get a sense of his body and the muscles very quickly. When you're drawing abdominals, delineating the six-pack isn't as important as delineating kind of the separator going down the middle of the muscles. Let's indicate a quick hand here. My proportions are a little bit goofy on this, but all right, so I'm already feeling myself speed up just for the 5-minute pose quite a bit faster. Yeah, I don't think it would be worthwhile to do 20 minutes. 20 minutes seems like a little bit fast. Like what we're really working towards is fast, good 30-minute poses or 30-second poses. So we're preparing for speed, trying to get ready for speed. So all my angles aren't totally right here. Try to indicate a little bit of the shadow here. Tone, 1 minute 38. You know, and I still feel like I'm in this phase where I'm still warming up. Still feeling a little bit rusty. 30 seconds. All right, by the end of this, I'm going to be doing, every single pose is going to be 30 seconds. So all right. It's probably about good. Not sure what else I'm going to be adding to this. By the way, pencil I'm using for this, it's not too common of one I use for these. It's Derwent Drawing Chocolate 6600. All right, this is a good pose. Let's change our orientation here. All right. It's got to be fast. I know things are picking up now. So this is our second 5-minute pose. Just trying to get details of the pose in. There's kind of an angle there. Sense where the pelvis is. This foot coming out this way. Man, gesture drawing a boot. It's not the easiest shape to work out. Again, I'm just trying to indicate a few things, putting some curves in that indicate direction. All right, the face. Let's get a sense of what this face is doing. Kind of looking up. Just kind of trying to get the form of the hair. I'm not going to try to draw on the detail of the hair. I'm just trying to get the basic shape of the hair in. And drawing these like these black figures. I don't mean like race, but just like that I've got these figures that have one of these like black shiny suits. It makes it a little bit weird to try to. In some ways it's nice because it simplifies the form. Okay, this needs to come down at more of an angle like this. 2 minutes. Come on, brother. Get your shiz together. All right, let's get this sense of this fist. Like that. Everything's dark. Dark with this like little bit of, well, except for this blade. This blade is quite bright. $115. Whew, this one's a little challenging. 50 seconds. I don't know. This pose is looking kind of funky to me. I don't know if I did a great job of capturing it. It's those boots. I blame the boots. 27 seconds. All right, this is my least favorite one so far. It's actually a really fun pose, but I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not doing a good job. I got to figure out how to do a gesture a boot better. All right. So I've kind of numbered those out. So 2-minute poses, 5 2-minute poses. All right, we're gonna have to speed up now. Jeez, oh, this guy again that's just standing in these really boring poses. All right, that one's more interesting, and I could probably do something with that. Except I'm cutting off her head by. Gotta run on the other side of the page. I have 1:35. See, we've got a minute left. Let's see if I can fix this face a little bit. Her head's supposed to be going like this. The towel actually comes down like this. Get the ear in there. This towel, bring this down a little bit further. Get the shoulder indication of the shoulder blade in there. "26 seconds. I'm just trying to get a good indication of how the folds are communicating form. Let's get some value in here too. Oh, okay, that's it. All right, next one. Okay, let's see if I can fit this on this. Some weird drapery going on here. I gotta kind of guess where his body's going here. Again, this is a higher angle, so the foot is not going to be laying flat. So you kind of top down on the foot. One minute. Oh geez, I'm going to be getting spanked here today. These things are kicking my butt. $40. All right, I can't spend too much time with the faces, but I at least want to get kind of direction of the faces somewhat accurate. 2 seconds. All right, next one. All right, ballerina. I've done some ballerina gestures before, and honestly, ballerinas to me aren't the most interesting poses to gesture because it seems like ballet is very much about like these very straight lines, very straight up and down lines. You don't get very many curves and things like that. So you gotta kind of search for the interesting stuff. But I mean, sometimes kind of very straight gestures can be kind of fun. I mean, that's kind of, I guess you gotta play with the aesthetic that you get, you know. Oh, do I even have enough room for her leg coming down here? Just make her foot just disappear off the edge here. I don't know how her other foot is angling back like this, but that's happening. You know, by this time now, I just feel like I'm starting to warm up. This one is feeling a little bit more fluid than some of the last few. I'm starting not to get too concerned about accuracy. All right, number 4. That was another 2 minutes. Let's get this one in. Oh, this is a fun pose. I'm sure I'm just gonna totally fudge it, mix it up, mess it up. The thing is about gestures too is that, as I mentioned before, you don't just have to do gestures of human bodies. You can do gestures of lots of different things. And there is expressiveness in lots of man-made things, lots of natural shapes, in nature. You can gesture trees, you can gesture, of course you can gesture animals, but even man-made designed things, you can create gestures. There's so much energy in so many things. All right, 49 seconds. See, a lot of times I'm just doing trying to do very quick indications of direction. All right. Thirteen seconds. 2, 1. We got one more. All right, let's skip this one. All right. Oh, this one's complex, a little complex. Just try to simplify it as much as possible. The arms coming out, head going this way. Hips. All right, what I just said about ballerinas, and then here's this like interesting kind of ballerina pose. $126. All right, I like how I captured this leg. That's making me happy. get this, I got the kind of general curve of this hand right, but now I want to just get the angle of the elbows in there. Just indicate those deltoids. Indicate the direction of the head. Proportions aren't very accurate here. Like my proportions are off on this body. That's kind of one thing you deal with gestures. It's also I'm kind of running the end of the page here. Our hips actually should probably be up here. Let me redraw. 19 seconds. Okay, let's redraw these hips. That feels better already. There we go. Just raise the hips up. Something to indicate the skirt here. All right, we're done. Okay, so we just finished 5 2-minute poses. We are now moving on to 60-second poses. And I gotta take a little break here. All right, so now we've got 10 60-second poses. So I'm gonna number these two. 1, 2, 3, and we'll take up the same amount of space, just half a page for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh boy, it's gonna get fun once we get to 8, 9, and once we get to 30 seconds, we're gonna be flying. All right, here we go. 60-second poses. And we're just gonna, whatever pose comes up, we're just gonna take it. We're not gonna, no excuses. Oh, great. All right. Boring standing guy. Okay, indicate the direction of his head. So the shorter the time gets, the more I feel like I'm stylizing the form as well. I'm trying to get more to capturing the form rather than, you know, the feel of the form more than it is about getting exact with the proportions. All right, 14 seconds. I kind of love the 1-minute gestures. Okay. Next pose. Oh, creepy. That's creepy. All right, but let's just get the pose. Just focus on the pose. Kind of trying to think of those bottom legs just in one simple shape. This is actually a fairly simple pose because we have so many of the forms are kind of sticking together. The hand. All right, let's see if I have enough time to kind of indicate fingers on this pose. Got 25 seconds. Okay, just kind of get the fingers in there. All right, I'm impressed with myself that I was able to do that. Direction of the face. Let's get the feet doing something. I don't know. All right, next one. Ooh, this one's fun. All right. Seems like the same model that was doing the samurai stuff. Whew, okay, that's fast. All right, least boring standing guy is now being boring kneeling guy. All right, I feel as I kind of start speeding up here that there's much more of scribbling in masses, where I just start to kind of scribble until I feel like I'm getting the mass correct. "13 seconds. All right. This is feeling good. Oh man, this is kind of a cool pose. This is a subtle pose, though. There's a lot of cool subtleties in this. I wish I could take more time to capture. I don't know, maybe I don't want to take too much time. Okay, 24 seconds. Jeez, man, what's it going to be like once I get to the 30-second poses? Get my butt kicked. Those shoelaces. Oof. All right. Okay, I'm skipping this guy. Sorry, dude. All right, whatever. This one's not great either, but one kind of strategy for doing these quick gestures is to follow like a single line up one side of the body. So see how on this side how I did kind of the hip leg up to the hip, and I kind of followed that line up the body. All right, I'm styling this one a little bit for sure. Let's bring down that a little bit. Uh, 11 seconds, come on, get this finished. Oh, okay, next one. Okay, let's try a different one. All right, I'm just gonna do one of these poses. I'm just gonna do the guy, I think. Okay, this very simple line. Knee, torso. Whoosh, arm. Angle of that jaw. All right, 16 seconds. Ha! I think I pretty much feel good about that pose with 16 seconds to go. I can add a little more detail in. Geez, I just need to do more gestures. I forget how much fun it is to do these. All right, we are on number 8. Trying to simplify shapes, get an overall sense of what the flow is. I see this big curve on the side of the body. These other curves for the arm. Scribble on the shape of the gun, and then try to get the center line coming down his chest here. All right, the leg is moving away from us, so I'm creating these curves to show that it's kind of moving away from us. And This other leg is coming out in front of us. 10 seconds. So we got a curve here for the leg coming towards us. Curve here for the leg going behind us. All right, next pose. All right, man, this is feeling good. Not sure how great this is gonna look when it's done, but it's feeling fun. Got this foot coming out at us. Okay. Next one. Number 10. Oh, let's skip on some more interesting. Oh, okay. Whatever. Another towel gesture. It's like, I feel like the source they use from these are like kind of rejected image from photo shoots. So there's those other photo shoots where they have images they don't really like, and they kind of like sell those at a premium, or sell those not at a premium, sell those at a discount to maybe they get them for free or something. It's like someone was doing some sort of ad that involved towels, something about shampoo ad or something, or it's a spa, or it's like stock photography, like someone's doing stock photography and they're like, I need some images of women in towels, and it's like the stock photography didn't get bought, and so it's like secondhand market for it. All right, and that's it. And look how blunt the tip of this pencil is now after having done that. Sharpie or pencil? Let's go with the Sharpie. Let's have some fun. We're gonna do 30-second poses. You know what I'm gonna do on this one? I'm gonna set a 10-minute timer and just go through all the poses till the 10-minute. I'm gonna start this and the 10-minute timer at the same time, so I don't have to write down a number at each pose. I'm just gonna try to cram as many poses as I can into the space. We'll make some of them smaller, some of them bigger. All right, on your mark, get set. Got to do 2 of these timers at the same time. Start. All right. 30 seconds. Oh, geez. Okay, this is a mistake to do the marker. Maybe not. Whew. I've been warming up on the pencil this whole time, and now I've got to like make it harder for me with the marker. It's okay. 4 seconds. Now we got something there. All right. This one's tough because there isn't like a single big line I can refer to. This weird drapery. It's really messing me up. It's 2. All right. Okay, you know what? I'm moving back to the pencil. I'm not liking this marker. I'm not getting a good vibe from this. We moved to a different color though that has a little bit lighter color. All right, here we go. All right. It's still gonna be shit, but at least it'll hopefully at least have a little more aesthetic to it. Okay, yeah, this is gestures with marker are no bueno. Knees. Mucho mejor. 4 seconds. All right, boom, check that out. 4 seconds. All right. Don't get cocky, kid. This is what it's all about. We've been warming up for this. This has been 40 minutes just warming up for these fast gestures. Just gonna squeeze this kind of into the space I have. 4, 3, 2, 1. And you know that the gestures really are a powerful tool. You know, if you're doing comics, you're doing anything, you're going to need to have, you're probably going to be doing some thumbnailing where you need to very quickly figure out a concept for page layout, for an illustration you're doing. Gestures give you the ability to kind of learn how to do that very quickly, how to communicate, form, pose, with very few lines. So I find it to be a very practical skill to know. And I do quite a bit of scribbling to figure things out. This is not, some of the details I'm doing to this aren't accurate to the pose, but all right, okay, this is an easy one. Wow, deceptively simple. Here. Is it deceptively simple, or is this one literally simple? Okay, 13 seconds. Get the knees. Some really fun folds there and stuff. Right, ballerina. That is a weird A pose. No wonder this one was like rejected for whatever photo shoot was going on. It's like a weird angle or something. Oh, geez. Okay, I'm not sure what sort of physics is going on here. Oh, geez. Okay, now I'm kicking my butt. Skip. All right, this one's cool. All right. Let's get this one in. 25 seconds. This back. I'm not leaving enough room for the legs. That's okay. We'll just get this back in comped in an interesting way. Didn't have time for that anyway. Okay, let's do a really tiny gesture here. Just really not even drawing both sides of the leg there, just trying to get... Okay, I'm going to push this pose because this looks like this could be more exaggerated. If I don't like the gesture, I'm going to make my own. Okay. Oh, that's a cool pose too. Oh, geez. Wish I was getting this. 20 seconds. Get those hips in there. I'm going to kind of exaggerate the hips. Six seconds. It's like a bunch of models were sharing these same like leathered clothes. Zoom out quite a bit. I like looking at folds and seeing where you can see indications of anatomy within the folds. A lot of times you can see the underside of, at least the underside of the legs within the folds of a dress. Oh, okay, that's kind of boring, but whatever. I'm not going to win any awards for that one. All right, a little bit more exciting one again from Boring Standing Guy. Not giving enough room for his head. Just remember, just getting that center line in is the most important on the abs. Whew. I've already done this one. See, there's a very simple way to think about legs. Very simple way to represent them. You can see what I did with this leg, where you have a line, you have kind of these two bumps. It's a very simple way to represent legs that this tends to be pretty useful. How many have I done here? I swear I've done a gesture of this exact pose before. I've done quick poses enough that like a lot of these poses are repeats. Center line. It's the most important part. Okay, oh, that's a cool pose. I'm just going to bring this arm over here because I think that's more interesting. So we are done with that. So that was 45 minutes of drawing we just completed. So again, we started with the 1 10-minute pose, 2 5-minute poses, 5 2-minute poses, 10 60-second poses, and 10 30-second poses. Now, if you are doing Sketchbook Summer, here's the other reason why this is super helpful for you. I just finished, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I just finished 9 pages in 45 minutes. And so the quota for Sketchbook Summer is 3.5 pages per day. So you can see how by doing gestures, you could complete the challenge almost in half the time if you just did gestures. The other great thing about gestures is now I can go back here. One of the real challenges with Sketchbook Summer is just getting started, finding stuff to draw. I can go back through here and find interesting poses, and I can use these for other stuff that I'm going to draw. I can decide to do other sketches based off of these poses, and we're going to riff off of these poses. So anyway, that's kind of my approach for doing gesture drawing. I think it's a really fantastic strategy for addressing Sketchbook Summer. In general, it's a really great exercise to do if you're an artist that just wants to get better with pose, that wants to get good with thumbnailing and kind of figuring out things very quickly. Like I said, I really like starting with the slower sketches first and working up to the faster sketches. So as you probably saw, it's a little bit of a grueling challenge, but also a lot of fun. I really got into it at the end there. Of course, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. Please like this video, please subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.